So good evening, good evening, good evening. We are back again with some more transfer news because I know you guys love a bit of transfer gossip. Gossip. I am recording this a couple of hours before, well, an hour before kickoff in the 4 p.m. Spanish times, 3 p.m. UK time kickoffs. Final group stage games. Ecuador are playing, and I think they're playing Senegal, and then Holland against Qatar. And we're going to be talking about a Holland international, Cody Gakpo, in a short while. He has been told, don't sign for United. Oh dear. I love this transfer window. Speculation is great. All these ex-players coming out, sticking their beaks in and all of that. But before we get into talking about Cody Gakpo, do make sure you have hit a like on the video. Smash the like button. Do it for the algorithm. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Pushing closer to 75k. Big up. Thank you very much to every single one of you who has subscribed to the channel. Big up to everybody who shares the content around. Obviously, I can't see who does that, but I can see how many people do that per video, and it's quite a lot, so thank you. Make sure you follow the TikTok down there. Very close to 1,000 followers on there. I want to try and grow that a little bit. Make sure you follow the Insta and also the Facebook page as well. I'm kind of looking forward to Arsenal returning very shortly. We're literally, 9 days away from Arsenal's next game. I am dropping a video. Keep your eyes peeled for that. It's going to be a little Arsenal update. Obviously, we're talking about the fixtures coming up, etc., because we have got 3 friendly games coming up. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. That will be dropping at 8 a.m. UK time tomorrow. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for it. In fact, actually, do you know what? I'll drop that maybe tonight. We'll see how this video does. So hit the likes up. Anyway, I've waffled for 2 minutes. Let's talk about Cody Gakpo. One of the most sought after players in world football at the moment. And he's scored 2 goals in the World Cup currently. And everybody is getting super excited about him. Everybody, not just the PSV fans, but everybody, all the hipsters' choice is Cody Gakpo. But from having seen him myself against Arsenal in the Europa League, I wasn't really that sold on him. I haven't watched much of the World Cup. I've only watched 4 whole games. But I've seen all the highlights. And listen, he is obviously clearly a very good player, just in a team, PSV, that ain't that great. And you can see that he's clearly got talent. And, he is going to go on to a bigger and better club than PSV Eindhoven, with all due respect. But it's now going to come down to what he decides to do, what the fee is, whether it's right for him, which club's right for him. And there's a lot of people that stick their oar in, stick their beak in, and they'll be telling him this, that, and the other. One of them is Ryan Babel. Remember him? Oh dear. Ryan Babel has had this to say, and I quote, you see him linked to clubs in England, such as Manchester United. Everybody has the right place. So let's see how he develops in the tournament. He has shown enough quality and he is ready for the next step, whether it's in January or next summer. As a Liverpool fan, I would tell him to go to Liverpool if they make an approach. Arsenal would also be an incredible team for him with the current manager and the project that they are building. There's that buzzword again, project. He has to follow his heart. When you are a young Dutch player, it's flattering to be linked to big clubs in England, but going from the Dutch league to the Premier League is a big step. Not every player is able to adapt and able to survive the Premier League. There are a lot of players who are written as the next star. Then they go to the Premier League and they can't cope. Well said, by the way. There is still more. I'm going to continue, but I want to highlight that. Well said, Ryan Babel. And this is the problem. This is the problem with social media. This is the problem with hyping up players too early after a couple of good performances. They are then dubbed the next star, the next Messi, the next Neymar, the next Hogg, the next whoever. They're not the next anything. They're themselves. And this is where people need to slow down with players. I've seen so many players. I'm an old man. Yes, I'm 40. I know life begun, by the way. It does. It's true. Life begins at 40. But I've seen so many players over the years that are dubbed and hailed the next this, and they're going to be a superstar, and they're this and they're that. It's all up here. It's all in the mentality of the player, how much he wants it. Will that player, not Gakpo, but will a player be able to adapt to a new league, a new language, new culture? And the weather's the same if he's coming from Holland, because it's raining all the time there as well. Can he adapt to the new settings? Will his wife be happy if he's got one, or his girlfriend? If he's planning on having kids, is that the country he wants to raise his children in? You know, all these factors come in. And then not only that, you're playing for a massive football club, whether it be Arsenal, United, Liverpool, whoever it may be that he chooses to go to. You're not playing with pressure on you every single week. You have to win every game. And if you don't, the fans get the ump. Well, maybe not so much in Arsenal's case, because our fans are happy finishing 8th. Yeah. But the pressure can make these players fold, and pressure busts pipes. We know this. So you have to factor all of these things in when sitting there going, oh, well, I've watched him a couple of times for PSV and he's smashing it in the Dutch league, and he will just pick up his form and come and do that in England. We see this with Jaden Sancho in the German league, the Bundesliga. Jaden Sancho was put up here on a pedestal. He's going to be wherever he wants to be. Not really working out for Jaden, is it? So before you start hyping up players, see how they get on in that new league. Yes, great, admire players, have players that you think, oh, he's a good player. We all do it. I do it, you do it, everyone does it. But before starting to make out they're miles better than they are when they've achieved nothing in football, without them having any pressure on them to do anything, maybe just slow down a little bit. Yeah, let's just slow down a little bit and see, where does he move to? Let's see how he gets on. We've seen this with millions and millions of people over the years that sit online, gassing up every single player. And most of the players flop. They never live up to the hype that they did at their previous club. We see it all the time. List your ones down in the comment section. That'll be a fun game to play. Who had all the potential, all the hype, everyone gassing them up, and then they flopped? Leave it in the comments. Not just in the Premier League, but in all leagues. Leave it in the comments. But let's continue on. Dutch mentality is different to English mentality. You have to learn a new setup of rules in terms of pace, physicality, different game styles. Both you and the opponent will play week to week. Also, traveling, the preparation, it's a lot to deal with. When I went to Liverpool in my 20s, it was a whole new world. In Holland, when I was at Ajax, I still lived at home with my parents. Wow, I didn't know that. And then not only was I living abroad, but by myself as well. It was hard not to lag behind. Learning the rules of Liverpool and the English culture and the Premier League as a whole. If I was to advise Gakpo, I would say choose your next club based on their style of playing. If a club like Manchester United comes in calling, you first have to picture yourself playing well within that setup rather than just seeing the name. You have to look at the style of playing and the demands of the coach and ask if you can execute it at the highest level. He's not really loving loving Man United, is he? Old Ryan. He's not loving United at all. He's kind of saying, listen, don't just look at the name Man United. Why don't you go Liverpool or Arsenal instead? They play better football, is what he's trying to say. But there we go. It is what it is. Do I think we're going to sign him? Probably not, if I'm honest. I know a lot of Arsenal fans would love to sign Gakpo, but I don't see him coming to Arsenal. I think the way Liverpool are at the moment, they're up for sale. The manager is not doing great at the minute. There's a lot of aging players at that club. They're going to come down a little bit over the next couple of years. So I think it probably is between Arsenal and Man United. But I just think the Dutch connection there with Ten Hag and the fact that he's probably going to get paid the same at either club, to be fair. The fee will probably be the same at either club. But I just think that little connection there with Ten Hag, I think that that's going to seal the deal. And I think that when you look at him, I think he's probably got more chance of playing on a regular basis at Man United, because Sancho, especially this season, has not really cut the mustard. Yeah, whereas we've got Martinelli in that position. Martinelli's flying. So, yeah, I don't really see us doing that. But listen, if he comes, we'll give him a look. We'll see what he's saying. We'll see how he gets on, etc., etc. But for me, I don't really see it happening. I can't lie. I think that if anything, he's going to go to Man United. And listen, he might do well. He might not do well. Who knows? Leave it in the comment section. Let me know what you think about him. He's played 2 games in the World Cup, bagged 2 goals. He scored in the qualifiers. He didn't score in Euros last time out. Let's have a little look at his league form, his league stats. This season, 24 appearances, 13 goals, 17 assists. That is pretty damn relentless. And people will say, yeah, but it's the Dutch league. Yes, it is the Dutch league, and you've still got to score the goals. You know, there's a lot of players that play in the Dutch league that don't score any. So yes, whilst it is not the greatest league at all, you still got to post them figures. You still got to do it. And he's put himself bang in the window to bang in the shop market window to get snapped up by a massive football club. Whether that's Arsenal or not remains to be seen. I don't think it will be, but it's quite clear he's got some level of talent. It's now how he deals with that and where he goes next. And not only that, you also have an agent waffling in your ear as well. Hopefully he's got a decent agent, because I've seen a lot of players over the years that have had a shocking agent that's just all about the money, and not about the player's career. So I don't know who his agent is. Maybe somebody in the chat can tell me, but it's also about the agent as well. But let's see what happens with Cody Gakpo. I'm probably going to watch that game in about an hour. So let's have a look at him again, because I've only watched him maybe twice or 3 times total. So let's see what all the hype's about, and I'll have a look at that. Make sure you subscribe, like, share. Big up to everybody who's been dropping the donations in as well. You can do that by hitting the thanks option and writing whatever you like. Thank you very much. Hit the likes up, subscribe if you're new, and go and check out all the socials. But until the next video, adios amigos. Laters. Ciao.